Race 1 for the Suzuki's from Manfeild lines up like this, Grant. Ryan off the pole, Rex McCutcheon from 2. Second row start for Dane Fisher, second in the points alongside Jamie Gaskin. Row 3 start for Chris Cox alongside AJ Lauder. From the 4th row on debut is Patrick Cronin alongside Rob Gibson. And a row 5 start for Mark Spring alongside Sean Lawrence. Championship leader with a little bit of work to do from row 6, Mike Turley. He's alongside Ben Erickson. Go back to row 7, Brad Lauder and Mark Gibson, who had some dramas in qualifying. Simon Evans and Daniel Eber from row number 8. And completing the lineup, Amy Vincent and Sam Barry. Grant Ryan's second pole position for the championship sees him starting from grid position 1, but Rex McCutcheon, fantastic qualifying effort from the outside of the front row, and Ryan Bailey, a full field of Suzuki's. It is roll on.
It's definitely game on. We've got the new boy versus the old boy.
So waiting for the lights to go out, Grant Ryan off the pole. Championship leader Mike Turley could only manage an 11th place in qualifying, so he's starting it a little bit deeper in the field, right in the mid-pack, as it looks like Grant Ryan's got the best of the starts down towards turn number 1. If Rex McCutcheon's not careful, he's going to get hung out to dry.
Yeah, Rex McCutcheon didn't have the greatest start. First time he's ever been on the front row, but I think Dane might have him here.
Here's one of the Gibson brothers going off the exit of 1. It's the 35 of Mark Gibson, who struggled through qualifying with a lack of second gear, which is fairly important around Manfeild and Suzuki Swift.
Yeah, they'd use second gear for a lot of the corners here, as we see them winding up to the hairpin.
Bit of debris just flying up off one of the race cars. Might have been a little bit of sign rating. There's Ben Erickson in the Rock Energy Drinks number 10. So the championship equation as they settle into the first lap of 10. Race 1 from Manfeild for the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup. Mike Turley with a 10-point advantage over Dane Fisher. Grant Ryan in 3rd, 68 points out of the lead. AJ Lauder 4th, 100 points out of the lead. Jamie Gaskin 5th, he's 139 down. And Chris Cox, the last round winner, 145 points out of the championship lead.
Yeah, as we see them coming out down the back straight, Grant bought Dane Fisher there, and Dane's gone to the inside. He's going to lose 2 places.
So Dane Fisher getting shuffled back here. That's Chris Cox on the move up into the 2nd position, qualified in 5th. He was the round winner at the previous round in Timaru with a couple of race wins against his name for a fantastic weekend. Grant Ryan certainly is not going to have this easy, because Chris Cox looking to the outside already down into turn number 1.
Chris Cox has definitely found some good pace. Obviously it all came together. Oh, it's Dane Fisher.
Loses another spot now. That's Patrick Cronin in the number 27 debuting this weekend. A pretty solid effort to qualify 7th, but he's right there in that fight for the race lead. He must have got a great start.
Yeah, Pat said it was a bit different than driving the HQ. A lot smaller and not so hard on the tyres, but he said he was having lots of fun.
Jamie Gaskin lines up alongside Rex McCutcheon. Mark Spring back there, back in his car that was comprehensively beaten up down in the South Island rounds.
Yeah.
Here's a peek antifreeze replay. This is Ryan and Cronin. Dane Fisher getting past there, and just not a lot of room off the exit there as Cronin went down the inside. Debuting this weekend at Manfeild. He's from Martin, just a few k's down the road.
Yeah, definitely out of all the rounds. Pat's never raced at a Tier 1 meeting before, but he obviously likes racing a Swift, and something appealed to him. Why wouldn't it? There's 20 cars on the grid. Simon
Evans also, well, not so much debuting. He ran in Hamilton last year as part of the ITM 400 weekend, but he's got the Castrol Edge colours on with an Amisa Tom Barker down in the South Island. And in deference to Castrol Edge's support, they've put a car back out there, and Simon was asked, I think, on Friday to drive this car.
Yeah, obviously now Simon doing double duties, one in the Porsche and in the Suzuki.
Grant Ryan holding on to the lead. Chris Cox is working him over big time down into 1 with Cronin in the 3rd position. There is Jamie Gaskin and Rex McCutcheon battling for 4th and 5th, and in behind them you got Dane Fisher, Mark Spring,
and Mike Turley.
That was Mike Turley. He would have been disappointed with a 11th qualifying effort. The championship leader by just 10 points. He got the championship lead back off Dane Fisher. Out of Timaru, Fisher's right there, just in front of him is Mark Springs working on Turley. So lots of battles right through this field for the first race of the weekend here from Manfeild for the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup. Cox is going to have a look to the outside in the Denny Holmes straight. Can you make that outside run work into Higgins?
If you get a good run, you can get the car in there, point it in, you can live on the outside.
Doesn't make it stick though. Ryan gives him the racing room, however, on the inside, but laying away. Patrick Cronin looked like he had a big run to the inside. Can't make anything of it as Cox is going to try and drive around Ryan. He does it. Shuts him down into Dunlop.
That's a great pass, and obviously he set that up from the corner before. It's Grant Ryan takes to the grass.
Well, he was right over the curb. Cronin should pick off Ryan here. He lost a little bit of momentum, just running a little bit narrow down through Dunlop. So Patrick Cronin on debut is now in the second position from a grid 7 start. And maybe the lead. Big step out. The Ice Tech 27 goes through to the lead.
That's a great pass by Pat. He came in from a long way back then as they've got him back again.
Yeah, he ran in a little bit deep and obviously couldn't get it off the exit, so Ryan's going to pick him up as well. This is the car that Alan Jarvis has been racing in the early rounds of the championship. Alan going back to Australia to compete in the dirt modifieds. Here's another peek Andy for his replay. This is the big dive from Patrick Cronin. It was a good effort, but he just couldn't quite get it stopped up on the other side.
Couldn't get it stopped, and he couldn't quite get it turned in.
Oh, and he's gone off. He's out in the grass now. That is off the hairpin on the run to the Denny Holmes straight. One of the Gibson boys has followed exactly the same line.
And all his hard work is undone.
Chris Cox with the race lead from Grant Ryan. Jamie Gaskin up into third. This has been such a competitive championship. We've had 7 different race winners. Problems there for Daniel Lienberg out of Timaru in the Challenge Fuel Suzuki. 7 different race winners so far in the championship.
Yeah, that just shows you how close this racing is. Chris Cox has got quite a nice little break on the chasing pack.
2 different lines there from Grant Ryan and Jamie Gaskin. So Jamie Gaskin's now on the move. Didn't get a great start. He started out of the 4th position, but he's worked his way back up into the 3rd spot. Dane Fisher into the 5th spot, and the placemakers Cook Street number 91. There's Rex McCutcheon. He's staying with the leaders. Mike Turley is still back there in the 7th position.
Yeah, Dane's got past Rex, so that will put Dane back up into 4th spot, and I guess he's trying to get back up into the front-running group.
There's Sean Lawrence in the Liquorland Suzuki. The action continues at the halfway point here for the first race for the Suzukis. Well, there's positions changing every lap. It is so close. Here is Mike Turley. He's under lots of pressure there from Sean Lawrence. First-time race winner in this year's championship. Well, the action continues. Don't go away. We'll be back with more from the Suzukis after this. The position this time, it's still Chris Cox from Ryan. Gaskin pulls out of the draft. Fisher and McCutcheon. Turley in the 6th position. So the difference between 4th and 6th is 9 points. So Turley would still have the championship lead by 1 single point.
As we see Dane Fisher up the inside of Jamie Gaskin, can he make it stick?
Side by side, Fisher. Gaskin looked like he was going to try and get by Grant Ryan a couple of laps ago, but he's now vulnerable to the attentions of Dane Fisher, who's 2nd in the championship points. Down the inside at the hairpin. Nice clean pass.
Good pass by Dane, and obviously now he's just got to stay in there with Grant Ryan, and he might be able to get 2nd as we see Sean Lawrence off at the hairpin.
So another one off at the hairpin out in the grass. You can see the grass tracks from a couple of cars that have already gone off in this race. Chris Cox looks pretty comfortable out in front. He's already had 2 wins to the championship, coming off a dominating performance in Timaru at the previous round of the championship. He's looking for win number 3, and he's doing it pretty easily out front. Yeah,
Chris Cox is doing a great job, obviously, with a karting background and obviously coming to grips with the Suzuki car, and he's doing a fantastic job.
So Fisher with that pass has moved back into the championship lead, depending on where Mike Turley is right behind him in that next battle group. So just a couple left to go here. Where is Mike Turley at the line? There he is there. He's still in that 6th position, but Dane Fisher is 3rd. And that's a 15-point swing. We've got a new championship leader again, and it's Dane Fisher back to the lead by 5. It was 3 points in Timaru. It swung back to Mike Turley with a 10-point lead, and it swung back to the advantage of Dane Fisher again. It's so close.
Even if you had a 30-point lead, you're not safe.
So there's Grant Ryan, still in the 2nd spot. He's trying to chase down, get his head down and chase down Chris Cox. Dane Fisher now in 3rd. Jamie Gaskin 4th, and Rex McCutcheon staying with them, and he's looking pretty strong to maybe get up inside the top 4.
Yeah, Rex has also done a fantastic job being a new boy in this category, and obviously taken a little while to get on the hang of things. And definitely staying with some experienced guys here.
35, Mark Gibson. He's in the 7th position. Mark having some problems with not being able to get second gear. He only qualified in the 14th spot, so he's certainly been one of the big movers in this first race of the weekend, as he's going to work with Mike Turley for what was the 6th position.
Mike Turley's under all sorts of pressure here.
As Fisher's still trying to stave off the advances of Jamie Gaskin, having made that pass the previous lap. But Chris Cox looks pretty comfortable out in front. Let's have a look at the lead back to Grant Ryan at the line. It's 2 seconds. So Cox, if anything, is actually extended in that last lap.
I don't know if Turley's got a problem here. He's about to lose 2 positions.
So just in background, you saw that. Mike Turley, has he got a problem after that clash with Patrick Cronin a few laps ago? This is the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Dane Fisher just ran a bit wide there. He could lose 2 positions.
Yeah, McCutcheon's going to try and follow Gaskin through. Fisher, well, he loses 1. We've got to see what's happening to Mike Turley behind, because he's dropped back to 7th on the scoring at the line. Mark Gibson's got around him. And Patrick Cronin's right there with him as well. In fact, Cronin's got ahead of him. Turley is back to what? Probably 8th, and here's why. Here's the peak antifreeze replay. Gibson and Turley making contact.
That could have actually been a lot worse for Mike Turley, but Mike Turley does not want that, as we see a lot of dust in the background.
Here's the 2nd of the Gibson cars. It's Rob Gibson. He's up inside the top 10 as well. So this is definitely not over. As we pick up the race leader, Chris Cox. He's doing it easily. All the action's happening behind him.
You'll be happy he's not stuck back in this raging pack.
So Fisher's back to 4th. Turley's 7th. This championship it keeps swinging either way as the last lap board comes out for Chris Cox. 1 to go. Gap at the line this time. 2.1 seconds. Cox extends by about 1/10 of a second from the last lap. Looking for win number 3 in the championship. The start of the weekend was 6th in the points, 145 out of the points leaders. Jamie Gaskin runs wide. That's going to help Dane Fisher. And there's more action in behind him as well.
And I think Rex McCutcheon got in front of Dane Fisher. And Dane Fisher's...
He looked to be carrying a guard rub there. There was some smoke from, I think, the left-hand side of the placemaker's Suzuki. Damage to the left front corner by the looks of it. Was there a clash maybe there between himself and Gaskin? Mike Turley's trying to minimise the damage after that clash with Mark Gibson the lap before. So it just keeps changing. It's so hard to pick, but Chris Cox, no doubt about it, with just a couple of corners left to go, he should win this one pretty comfortably.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely no change in the lead. Chris Cox is walking away with it.
So 4th to 7 points wise, as Dane Fisher is definitely struggling. He's lost that spot to Jamie Gaskin.
Mark Gibson has a good run up the inside of Pat Cronin.
So there's Chris Cox out of the final corner for race 1 for the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup from Manfeild. The CRC 200 weekend win number 3 for the former New Zealand kart sport champion. He's celebrating with the headlights on. Great performance. 2nd place will be Grant Ryan from Rex McCutcheon, who gets to 3rd. I think Dane Fisher's going to cross the line in 5th. Mike Turley in 7th. The championship is still so very, very close, but Chris Cox taking out the honours in race number 1. Chris Cox with the victory, race 1 for the Suzuki Swift Sport Cup from Manfeild, from Grant Ryan, Rex McCutcheon, Jamie Gaskin 4th, Dane Fisher in 5th, Mark Gibson in 6th, and a 7th place finish for Mike Turley's season with just a 3-point championship lead heading into race 2.
Chris, mate, congratulations, and this winning streak you're going just continues.
You know, after the wins at Timaru, we just wanted to keep it going. We had a few problems, blew up an engine in practice, only did 4 laps. But to go out there again, I'm just ecstatic. This is even better than I could imagine.
Yeah, hey, look, mate, you had a bit of a battle to go, but then you got to show a clean set here to the rest of the boys.
Yeah, off 5th row, off grid 5, sorry. Had a good start, kind of knew I had to get through as quick as possible. Good fighting out there, got a lead and held it from there. It's great.
Brilliant, mate, and how's your mum?
She's doing really well. She's all back home, so for everyone that's watching and keeping up with her, she's doing fantastic. Thanks.